Good morning and welcome. And I am making this very, very negative type video to give you my opinions on what I think is about to happen with coastal real estate, low-lying real estate. And I actually tagged that we're doing this video in Florida because I believe that Florida is going to be the state that's most impacted, at least in the United States, with what's about to happen. So this entire thing is based on the premise that sea level is rising. So do you believe that, Denise? Do you believe that sea levels are rising?
It's fact. I don't have to believe it.
It's a fact.
It's a given fact.
So how fast are sea levels rising? I don't even know all the stats except that sea levels are rising.
Yeah, because the ice caps are melting.
Okay, and they're melting. So this isn't going to suddenly stop or reverse, you don't think?
No.
So basically what's going to happen is sea level is going to rise. The only question is how high. Now, you've seen me play around with this tool from, I don't know what it is, one of the U.S. government agencies where you can, was it NOAA? No, is it NOAA or somebody?
National Oceanic
Atmospheric, yeah. I think they have a tool on there where you can predict sea level rise. You can go onto their website, or you can just go to an internet search engine, find this out for yourself where it is. But it's a pretty cool map. You can just find that location, you can type in or select how high you think the sea level is going to rise, and you can see what's going to be underwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some scientists say 8 meters, some said 7, one said 12, so you can play around with the tool and see where your house is depending on these 3 different scenarios.
Yeah, and so it's kind of gloomy because the higher that sea level rises, the more you realize that all the coastal real estate is just going to go away.
It's not stopped.
Okay, we're just going to go anyway. Hopefully they won't hit us. So this is the premise, is what's going to happen to coastal real estate, okay? What's going to happen to this stuff because of sea level rise? And I think that there's going to be a tipping point, and it's going to happen soon, and we're seeing some of this in Florida, where insurers are going to stop writing policies on properties that are at the beach or very, right along the coast. And if you've been alive in the last few decades like we have, you've noticed that there used to be regular houses at the beach. I know my grandparents used to have one in Ocean City, New Jersey. But nowadays, every single house at the beach is being built up on stilts. If it has a first floor, it's just a garage that they break away, and the front door is way up high. So why is that? Because they know in order to get flood insurance for their house, either now or in the near future, they're basically going to have to be making their own island, because that's every so often the waters get that high. Yeah. So they have to be just a little bit higher in order to get insurance. Does that make sense, right? So what's going to happen is when the waters constantly become high and you can't even drive out to these places anymore, there'll be like boat-in communities, you're not going to be able to get insurance.
Yeah, it's not just the rising sea levels, it's the increase in hurricanes too, because as climate change happens, as winters get colder and summers get hotter, it causes hurricanes, and they're more frequent and they're more disastrous.
So my theory here is that what's going to happen is you won't be able to get insurance. And of course, what's going to happen when you can't get insurance? You can't get a mortgage. You can't get a mortgage. You have to pay all cash. Who's going to pay all cash for a house they know is going to be underwater? There's going to be like this total pendulum swing where even though right now these houses are like the highest valued property there is, they will soon become some of the lowest valued property.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Maybe the governments will buy them up as parkland or something. I don't know how that's going to work. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.
We had a high school student speak at one of our Veg Fests recently, and she showed us what would happen with climate change if people would just do the minimum, like have a meatless Monday, and it had a dramatic impact. So if you want to learn more, go to our other channel at plantbasediet.org and learn how you can go green.
Do you think we can stop this though? I think it's too late.
No, but you can definitely slow it.
Okay. So, but here's another thing. This is going to impact Florida the most. If you look at Florida on a map, Florida is a bunch of interstates that connect on the coast. So on the coast, there's 95. So all the coastal property is east of 95. On the west side of Florida, the Gulf side is 75, I-75. All the coastal property is west of I-75. And then there's what they call Alligator Alley on the south side in the Everglades. So all the coastal property is south of Alligator Alley. And if you think about it, who do you know in Florida? They all live east of 95 or west of 75. Nobody lives south of of Alligator Alley because that's the national park, but and because you can't build on it really, but that's going to have to change. And the properties, I own some properties in Florida, and they're all inside of those interstates and the high ground in Florida. So I think that that's what's going to happen with Florida, is that people are going to start to realize that that's where they need to live there if they want the warm winters, and that will suddenly become more valuable. I think it's already happening, but it's taken a long time, because the reason why I bought some of this property is because it was so damn cheap a few years ago when I did buy it. But people are very slow to react. And I don't know how long this is going to take. How long do you think it's going to take till people start abandoning their beach properties?
Probably 20 years.
That long?
Maybe 40.
40 years?
Yeah.
When do you think people are going to stop insuring them? You're kind of, Denise works for Freddie Mac. You don't have any control over this. You're on the software side, but you're going to start to, I don't know. I mean, you know, somebody has to have insurance, right? If they're getting a loan,
Yeah.
they have to get insurance.
Yeah, you have to have homeowners insurance.
So if somebody finds out that they cannot get insurance for any of this property, like closer to the water on this side of town, what's that going to do to the value of that property?
It's going to lower it.
In a huge way, right? Yeah, because they can't get mortgages.
Right.
So anyway, this is what we think is going to happen. Not just Florida. I guess more mountain property, as long as you're not in an area that's a low-lying mountain valley where that floods out during rainstorms. You know, subtracting for those, because you hear about those all the time. Actually, hurricanes get them. They got some of those areas. We saw them in western North Carolina when we were out there. But aside from that, high ground is probably where it's going to be going forward. And I know it's very painful for people to have to change their mind because they like living near the water. And we had this discussion before with a friend. Everyone, that's where life is. It says right next to the water, right? But what's that going to mean? I mean, we can't keep going on like that. And at some point, people are going to be forced out of these areas, all of them. And it's not going to be that far in the future, right?
Yeah.
So if you loaded up on all your property at high elevation or higher elevation, you don't have to be that high. You just have to be like, I don't know, 10 to 20 feet above sea level, right? Then you'll probably be okay, I would think. But any lower than that, which is where almost everyone lives on the East Coast of the United States, you're in big trouble. And it's not just the United States, it's all other countries. No one's immune to this.
Right.
Everybody's gonna have a problem, especially like areas in Europe where they have reclaimed land because they're so damn low. I can't remember what countries those are. Maybe you guys can remember, put that in the comments. But I know they've been doing that for years, but with sea level rise, you can't reclaim land anymore. The sea's gonna start reclaiming the land. That's what's gonna end up happening. It's gonna go the opposite. Anything else more to add for this topic? So start divesting in your coastal properties, your waterfront properties, right? That's what we're saying. Are mountain lakes okay?
Yeah.
You sure? Mountain lakes will be just fine.
Why wouldn't they be okay?
I don't know. This is a waterfront, so mountain lakes are okay, but coastal, down low, anywhere near sea level, then abandon those properties, divest. Right?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if you got any value out of it and share it with people, and be a subscriber to our channel. Bye.
Bye.